Alright, so we're going to do this is mod 9, cleric build. I'm actually going to go through, respec the whole character. I got a few things I want to change anyways. While I'm going through, I'm going to try to explain why I use what I do, and some of the things that I don't use, tell you why, things like that. Anyways, the Divine Oracle path, it's fun. To me, it's more of a solo thing, or if you're gonna go full DPS, whatever. It's got some nice things in there, but personally, I don't use it because there's some things in Anointed Champion that I love. So, anyways, that's what I picked there. As far as powers, I'll go back to that. It's got, you'll see, I've got 90 points, so I kind of just pick whatever. Anyways, into the feats section. What I'm gonna do, which I still may change later, but anyways, I'm gonna go with 5 here. Those action points, man. The whole reason I take the champion spec is for the balls, man. They're really nice. So we'll go 3 here. I'm actually going to take 2 points into this. I don't. That extra 3% just isn't a lot. Then the repurposed soul, where it disperses another heal. Basically, there's another, what is it, feed or boon, I don't remember which one it is, that every time you heal, you have a chance of healing for 20,000. It's one of the boons, and it will trigger off this, so I take that, and then I will put the extra point. I've been battling, trying to decide if I want to go crit over recovery. This time I'm actually gonna choose more on the recovery side, and see how that works. I think I might end up taking crit over recovery later on, but just for this is what we're gonna do. We'll just put 2 points into that because it's not all that important. Fine policy. We're gonna take the. I'm actually gonna put 3 into this. You know what? Let me take. I'll take the 1 in that. Put the other 2 here, and then last 2 points I'm just gonna put into here. As far as gaining divine power, I'll show you some more on some of my powers that if I feel like I'm not getting enough away, that I can adjust to that. Plus I take some in the over in here. Anyways, we go faithful. I like, you got a lot of people that go into the what they call the debuff or whatever. And the spec that I'm taking right now, the only thing that I do not get is this right here, Condemning Gaze. No, I'm sorry. I apologize. Do not get Barrier Sins, which is what, 10%, if you have a DOT on them. If you're doing trash, it's kind of pointless because you can basically we have a single target DOT, or we have the Sunburst, which is an AoE DOT, but it's 10% is not enough. Of course, the Condemn, I mean, gotta have the stacks. It takes time to build up, so yeah, it's you know, on a boss fight you're losing 25% bonus. Um, I'll show you, you know, how much percent I'm still giving just by running the powers that I run and the feats that I pick. Anyways, so in the faithful we'll take 5 here because we're not going to be using pots. Here I'm doing everything right. I'm kind of just doing this on the fly. Right. Temporary hit points, and man, I personally don't think they're all that great. That's something you can take if you want. But like I said, this right here, we'll take this, and it kind of goes off of this right here. I'll show you more. Anyways, exalted. Man, I don't use it. It's a horrible spell. I will take the extra divine power here, which is why I didn't take it over here. The power increase. No, there's no real reason. Very rarely are under that. Again, this right here will go off the feat where any of your heals will do an extra 20,000 heal from the boons. It will proc off this. It's bad. Sometimes your heals can just chain for massive amounts. Same thing with this right here. This is you know, it bounces off you, heals them. It still has a chance for that 20,000 from the boons. This right here, this is the main reason. This is what, you know, I guess we consider this a clutch healing guide. Anytime they drop below 45%, it's an instant full heal, which is why I took this right here. If you know, it will make the heal more, and they're going to be right back at full health, and you don't have to search for them, because a lot of times when people take a massive amount of damage, you'll see them, they'll run in circles, and sometimes it's actually hard to heal. This right here eliminates that and instantly heals them and makes you look good. Alright, then instead of going up here, and you know, I see where some of them take the, you know, you heal for more or whatever. It's not that important because we actually chained so many heals with that 20,000 from the boon, that you whatever. Your heals are massive anyways. Again, action point gain. We have to deal damage or at wills, so might as well take it and gain more action points. This right here, anointed champion, or anointed army, sorry, is why I take the champion spec. This right here is basically, it will block all the damage, or a large portion of damage for up to 4 hits, as long as it's on you. Plus, when it wears off, it gives you hit points. You know, you're healed, which has a chance of triggering that 20,000 that I will show you in the boon, and gives you more action points, which you can almost always keep this up. So we take that, and then for a party buff, I take the increase of the power. Now, like I said, you lose 25% off of these right here, but we're gonna make up for that with the spells that we run and things like that. Go back over them just to make sure I took what I want. Like I said, this recovery, I don't know if I'm gonna stay with that or end up crit. Seems like crit might actually be a little better, but gotta test it out. You know, like I said, the power increase. You're not below 30% hit points very much. These are okay. The two would, you know, if you really wanted to take one of these, but personally I would rather run these three down here over either one of these. Anyways, we'll commit those. Let's go over to boons. I'm in a guild by myself, so I don't have the guild boons or whatever, and I don't PvP because the crap is, you know, you just get one-shotted, so it's not really fun. Anyways, in my boons, I take power. I'll take the crit. Of course, we want the action points. Personally, the heal I don't use. I like, you know, dealing the extra damage. It will in the long run will help your party out a little more, I guess, and help your damage charts out. You know, even though we're not going to top them anyways. All right, we'll take the power gain. Power is good. Some of your feats will are based off power, giving your party more power. All right, so Dread Ring. Again, there for a while I was taking the crit, but we're gonna go power. We're gonna go away from the crit. Regen or lifesteal, whatever. Lifesteal's kind of useless. Regen's kind of useless. This right here you could take, you know, if you really want that, if you want to do a little more damage, you can take it or whatever. Personally, I'll take the deflect, just for survivability. Again, let's see what you can either heal if you're if you do DPS as a cleric. This is something you might want, but if you're actually healing, I would take these right here. All right. This right here is kind of a different thing too. Yeah, madness is you know, it's alright having that extra 4,000 power, but I don't know. I like to do this right here because basically I heal a lot. That's what I use as healing spells. So I take the 20,000 or 2,000 damage every time I cast a heal, basically. Icewind Dale, the campaign's horrible. Took me forever to get all this stuff open. And I do a little more defense on this over offense. So I'll take the AoE resist. Personally, I prefer the stamina over the incoming healing because I with all the combinations to my heals, it doesn't really matter. Again, I'm going recovery over crit. Most of the time I will take crit, but I want to try this recovery out. I dodge quite a bit, so 1,000 power based on the stamina. Action points again. Action points are nice because you want that that shield up at you know, as much as you can. Dark. All right. So we'll take the power over defense, and still going crit. Lifesteal we don't need. Again, this right here is kind of up to you. I take the regen over combat bonus because I'm a cleric. I heal. I don't worry about how much damage I actually take this the 5% shorter duration because I hate being stunned. Things, you know, Lost Mouth has it stunned. A few of the others have a little stun that will reduce. These right here, whatever. Sometimes random, whatever you want. But I usually take the 10% plus. Alright, Tyranny of Dragons. Go 400 power, 400 crit. I'll take the defense because I don't need the armor. Again, regen. Then I crit on that also. Like I said, I'm not in the guild with boons. I probably should be. I know you get quite a bit of stuff, but I know there's power in there, and that's most likely what I would go for. Alright, these right here. This one, you know, lifesteal I don't need, so I do take that. Or this adds up to a 10% shorter duration on, you know, with both boons. Action points, always take the action point. This right here, this is kind of what the build goes around to an extent. That's why I use all the proccing, you know, feats over there, where this heal can send out another heal. Well, all those heals can trigger this 20,000 hit point heal, and this heal can crit. So you know, you could end up healing people for, you know, 100,000 plus off of this right here. And it allows you to use different powers. So this is one of the main boons. All right. So again, we'll take the power over the defense. Regen. And this is where I'm taking recovery over crit. I don't know. I think crit is a little overrated for us, but I see a lot of clerics stacking recovery, so I'm gonna give it a shot and see why they're stacking it over crit a little bit. That's right. So again, we're gonna take the recovery over the crit. Probably not that useful, but that's what we're gonna do. All right, so we'll go back to our feats. Just kind of we'll do this last. We'll go ahead and do powers. Like I said, I have 90 points, so this right here, I kind of put my points everywhere I can. I will show you a few things that I prefer. And the reason why I spec a certain way. Like soothe we don't need. I don't understand. Like, threat in this game is pretty broken, so it's kind of a pointless thing. Sacred Flame also I don't put any points in because the temporary hit points is like 100. Even if it's maxed, it's like 100 hit points, and that is just useless. Hollow Ground, man, with End of the Fray, that's a good thing to have, but of course that's being changed here soon. But regardless, it's a really nice buff. The only thing I do not like about it is you do not gain action points while Hollow Ground is down. So it's good for boss fights, but as far as trash, I very rarely use it on trash unless it's a massive pull. Healing Word, in this spec I don't use very much. If I do a lot of random queues, I don't queue with a party. So if if the group was ever taking just massive amounts of damage, maybe I would use this, but most likely not something that you would use. Sunburst can be useful. I use it in Castle Never quite a bit for a few of the boss fights, but not very often. And in the spec that I run, I actually use Astral Seal, just for the extra healing, because I only run, for the most part, I only run one healing spell. And I do that for the debuff side of things. Let's see. All right, Forge Master. I like that sometimes. If I have a really strong group, I will run Dawning Light and Forge Master. I know it doesn't give as big as a buff as Break the Spirit, but you can basically a full empowered. Both these will go off one full empowered. So you'll get the massive. You know, I use it on a boss. I don't use it on trash. You'll have the huge crit chance on this. Plus you'll buff your party with this right here off of one empowered. Anointed Action. This right here, I take and I will fill up, because that's a huge buff to your party. When we're all said and done, I believe I give something like 80% damage buff. So the 25% that I give up, I mean, but I you know, whatever. That would, I don't even know if it goes over 100, if it actually calculates over 100. But anyways, like I said, I only miss out on 25% by taking the things that I take. Blessing of Battle, I use that quite a bit. You know, it gives a buff, plus it builds a lot of divine power. This right here, this is if I'm running, if there's a paladin in the group, I will probably use this over Astral Shield, and the heals from it are really big. So it helps if you're in with a weak group. It's another nice thing to have. Break the Spirit, there, you know, this is a 30% buff. A little more than that, so you get what, for 3 stacks you get 10, so that's 30, and then for each one of these it's 30, 40, 50, 60. So you know, that's a really big buff. I run this, and I run this right here, Divine Glow. Again, this is a debuff. All clerics have it. You don't have to be and you don't have to take that righteous path to have all these. We all have them. As long as you use them, you know, you're still buffing the party a lot, but you have the ability to heal, because if you go righteous, your healing is way down. Nothing like this right here. So Astral Shield, it's really good with End of the Fray. So if there is a Guardian Fighter in the party, what I run is I run Divine Glow, and I run Astral Shield, and I run Break the Spirit, and the buff damage that I give just running those right there, and of course Anointed Army, pretty useful, especially on trash, or on a big boss fight where, say, your tank or your DPS is taking a lot of damage, and throw the shield up, put the balls on them, and they're not going to take that damage. Some of the other stuff, I never use Divine Armor. I don't use this even if I'm by myself. Right here, temporary hit points are, it just, I don't know, it's not enough to take. So for extra points, I just kind of randomly put them where I want. Warding Flare, I do not use it. It's pointless. It doesn't. It's just not. It's not good. Now this spell right here, like, all right, I like it for more than one reason. One, all right, you know it gives off that heal. It can trigger the 20,000 heal from your boon. And the other thing that I really like about it is in my weapon, my artifact power, this right here, it gives you divinity every time it heals. So basically, I don't have to be in a fight, and my divinity will be full. It's a pretty useful thing. Before fights, you can throw that on, get your divinity full, going into a boss fight. That way you're fully charged and ready to go. But for the most part, I run this right here for the buff. We'll just put some points, you know, wherever. Hasting Light, I use that. That's really good for you know, if it kind of works well with this. You end up building so many action points that you can use this often, and it's gonna lower your recharge, you know, all your recharge. So and this is why I don't know if recovery is better over crit, because running this, I mean, you know, not knocking those 3 or 4 seconds off of each command keeps them down, ready to use all the time. All right, so 2 more points to put somewhere. It's one of the things. It's kind of up to you. Most of this stuff I don't use. I just put points wherever until I can start filling up. You know, these right here. I know I use these, so I'm gonna put 5 in them. Everything that I might use or whatever, I throw 5 points in, and then I'll go back and just kind of put my points wherever. So I got 3 points left. I don't know, where should they go this time? Got 1 more action point. That, who knows? Guess I decided to use that anyways. I know a lot of people go over the race on what race they use, and whatever. I like dwarves. You know, I just like the way they look. They're short, they're bearded, they're pissed off all the time. I just like a dwarf, man. So that's what I picked. As far as these attributes, wisdom and charisma. Wisdom is what you want as a cleric, so we take it, and of course, you know, action point gain on the charisma, bonus healing, things like that for your wisdom. Of course, you know, if you are gonna go for the crit thing, you know, maybe strength. I don't know. I never go strength. These are what you want. They're the best. But you know, that's quite a bit. Now, like I said, I'm not in a guild, so I don't have the bonus to power. I still, even, you know, 92,000 hit points. Also, I run the dusk gear, which dusk gear. Let's see. This is you know, when you're in a party, and pretty much if you're doing things solo, it doesn't matter anyways. But your dungeons, you're always in a party, so you know, an extra 1,000 power, defense, and 5,000 hit points, that puts me over 100,000 hit points right there. Works fine. 100,000 is plenty. You shouldn't be getting hit that hard anyways. If you are, you probably move out of the red. And it's right, like I said, this is what I use. This restores up my divinity even if I'm not doing anything, and you know it'll give you one or two crosses just sitting getting ready to fight a boss. There's a problem with it. It puts you in combat every time it triggers. So if you know if you want to swap out a companion, if you want to leave an instance or anything like that, it's almost best to take it off. Action point gain here. I'm all about the action point. As far as these, I run the Tiamat set. I was lucky back at level 60 to get the orb, so that's not something I have to buy now because Tiamat's a pain, kind of buggy sometimes. Anyways, increases healing. It's both ways, 5%. Yeah, I guess it works out. Most of my gems, I do Radiant and I've got my Dragon's Hordes here. I like the Dragon Hordes. Defensive ones. I just run Radiant and Azor. I'm sure they should be a little higher, like rank 10s and things like that, but whatever. As far as healing, you kind of get a pass because you're not looked at as long as you're keeping your party alive, nobody cares about your damage. Armor enchant, I still use the Soul Forge. A lot of people use the negation. Personally, if you're a DPS or something, it's good, but I don't take a lot of damage, so it's not that big of a deal. And sometimes I will actually take the death because I know I'm coming back and save somebody's life. And accidents happen, man. Some of the graphics are kind of crappy. If you have like a mage that puts his ice on the floor and a red dot shows up under it, you may or may not see that red and accidentally die. So it's good to have. The weapon enchant. This is what I've been working on. It gives the damage resistance, which is nice. I thought it gave a little heal too. I believe it does put like a small heal on them, but it's not that much. But you could run the dread for the extra debuff. Personally, I don't think it's needed. My companion, I was running the striker over here. I do not have the best companions. That's probably something I could work on. What I run this guy right here. That little boost right there at the start's pretty good. And actually, if you run the Blighted Divinity, because of the little bug where it puts you in combat, you start combat, you end combat, you always have the plus 500 to recover, plus 500 to out. So that's actually pretty nice. But I run this guy, and the reason being is I like the defensive slot where you get the 9% of his rating. So if you boost them up really high, man, there you go. That's extra power, extra recovery, crit, whatever it is you want. The bonding runestones, you gotta at least have one of them things in there, man, because that's even more of a bonus to you. So you know, you're fighting. You know, my stats don't look that great, but you know, once I enter a party and I start fighting, you know, my power goes up to 25,000, 30,000. Crit will go up some, and recovery, all that goes up. So we'll go back, give you just one last look at the feats. Not really go over them, just something if you want to pause the video and spec your character. That's where they're at. Most of these over here you can kind of put wherever you want. That's one good thing about this game, is it is based on playstyle. Whatever, however you play, man, go for it. The way I like to play. So these are what I take. Hopefully this will give you some ideas, maybe a different way of playing your character. One more time. One across the bottom. Each of those. Now this is something that you can go back and pause and spec how you want. I really should work more on the Tyranny of Dragon, but I don't like doing so. I'm lazy on that, and also I should be I really should be in a guild, but you know, I don't play that much. I like the solo aspect of the game. I like being able to do everything by myself. That's one good thing about this game. Anyways, hopefully I got everything. If there's any questions or anything like that, mounts, and I don't have the best mounts either. I don't really spend money on the game. I save everything and I grind for everything. On occasion, I will, you know, buy some Zen. I'll spend $10 for like a donation to the game, and because I enjoy the game, why not give them a little money? Maybe they'll improve some things. Anyways, like I said, if you have questions, put it in the comments or find me on the game. Anything like that, man. I'll answer anything I can.